Manubuku. But I will give this one for 3,000 naira. The opposite of anti-malaria is what? Everyone say, oh, no, they won't answer. It is no. Come on, anti-malaria, no. So please, let's just honor this person because he wants to leave right away. And he's one of the awardees in this beautiful location. But we just have to permit him based on one thing or the other, as per Nigerians where we be. So please, my good chairman, I think you're aware about this. Chief Lawrence Olufemi Adegbe wants to take his leave, and he wants to take a bow before taking his leave. If I'm correct, sir. No, have you forgotten the justice is around? He will take a bow before he take his leave. Okay. So please, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Chief Lawrence Olufemi Adegbe, please. As he comes forward, he wants to share pictures with us before taking his leave. DJ, thank you. Back up. The president and chairman of IPMC, Dr. Udedie. Now, I believe when I'm saying this, you guys should give me a round of applause. Please, the award ready? Very. As some of them. Give me so, Baba. so.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Governing Council of the Institute for the Promotion of Maintenance Culture in Nigeria, we as an institute, we are offering this certificate and the award to our good friend for his good job so far, and this will encourage him to do more in the area of maintenance culture. Congratulations.
A round of applause, please. So thank you, Mr. Olushola, Chief Olushola, for coming. I believe you have taken your bow before taking. Thank you, bow, sir. All right, sir. Thank you very much. So we're moving to today's business. And when I mean today's business, we have to hit the nail on its head. So, straight to today's lecture. And to deliver today's lecture is no one else but our guest speaker. He is one-time presidential candidate in Nigeria. He's
of maintenance culture, Professor Chidi C. Maduka, FNIN. Chief Austin A. Ojay, National Treasurer, Yoruba of Lagos, the Chairman of the occasion, Prince Alhaji Hamid Shoaib, FCA, the children that are here, you are welcome. You're always going to remember this occasion, and whatever is said here is going to be etched in your memory, so you count yourself fortunate for being here. Distinguished of the Federal Road Safety Corps, you're welcome. The lecture for today is Revitalizing Maintenance Culture in Nigeria, a critical challenge and the path forward. Sustenance in the fields including, but not limited to, education, digitalization, health, electricity, corporations, communications, travel, space exploration, reproduction, agriculture, and public infrastructure supporting social welfare require lifelong mindset of maintenance culture as necessity and recipe for success. In this lecture, I touch on road maintenance, African culture, flags, house painting, vehicle maintenance, and Roman roads of antiquity. My friend and classmate, Engineer Bennett Nzekwe, passed on, and a vigil mass for him was held at Asaba where he lived on Tuesday, the 27th of August 2024. After the mass, I set out to return to my hometown, Agukure, via the Asaba-Onitsha Expressway. At Koka Junction, Asaba, the traffic jam began. For those who are familiar, the multiple lanes for vehicles, trailers, 10-ton lorries, buses, cars, even keke, all lined up and standing still. A do-gooder said to the driver that the road would be impassable for a long time as a trailer fell across the road. That if we are going to Onitsha, our best bet would be to turn back and find our way to Dennis Osadebe Way inside Asaba town and continue to the other end of the expressway, then to Onitsha. We made the recommended detour to the other end of the expressway and continued to Onitsha that night after paying the do-gooder his consultation fees. Even so, only one lane was available for both coming and going traffic. We crossed the old Niger Bridge, reached Boromir roundabout, and headed for Oka via the expressway. The potholes start small and are allowed to deteriorate. Craters are carved out, bringing mile-long traffic jams, causing motor accidents, which leads to burst tires, loss of limbs and lives. I was sitting at the back with my seatbelt on, working on my phone for my flight to Abuja the next day. I would look up intermittently, urging the driver to lower his speed. Beyond the former toll gate, descending towards Rumuya town, I looked up and saw a large crater smack in the middle of the road. I could only shout. We all crashed into the depression, got thrown up and down about 3 times in quick succession. Seconds later, I could not swallow saliva. My neck and arms were aching, and my whole body was traumatized. I'm here alive, but the story could have been different. What a way to live and die in a country. The IPMC have come to close the yawning gaps. Your summarized mission statement is maintain to sustain. I dare say that for IPMC to achieve the desired impact, it should be bold, focused, and undaunted. IPMC should be ready to begin a clear shift from the way things are done. Actors in all facets of our economy, formal and informal, should be held to account for negligence, deterioration, neglect, vandalization, compromise, connivance, corruption, and liability as applicable. 2 things, spread and bite, will project the IPMC in the eyes of the discerning public as an institute geared to revitalize the Nigerian polity by promoting maintenance culture. The spread should take you all over Nigeria simultaneously, and the bites should be portrayed in your readiness to bring all the factors to account according to the existing laws. Section 344 of the Criminal Code Act of Nigeria states as follows, and I read, I quote, "Any person who unlawfully does any act or omits to do any act which it is his duty to do, not being an act or omission specified in Section 343 of this code, by which act or omission harm is caused to any person, is guilty of a misdemeanor and is liable to imprisonment for 6 months." End of quote. The Federal Ministry of Works and Housing has Highways Construction and Rehabilitation Department, heavily funded to undertake its duties. The IPMC should seek to join the Director Highways Construction and Rehabilitation Department as a party in court actions brought pursuant to neglect of federal roads and injury to persons, loss of limbs and lives, and damage to vehicles and goods. The argument is straightforward. The Director of Highways Construction and Rehabilitation Department has a duty to present to the public a motorable highway. He ought not omit to repair potholes as they are called. The unrepaired potholes metamorphose into craters. The omission to fix potholes is accentuated when deep craters appear suddenly after a long stretch of paved highway, luring motorists to crash into them, losing a tire or a limb or a life. Let it be added here that many manslaughter cases arising from vehicular traffic are caused by drivers dodging potholes on their lanes, which pit them with oncoming traffic on another lane or with pedestrians. I suggest that IPMC should canvass in all such cases that the relevant Director of Highways Construction and Rehabilitation Department be made parties to the court cases, either to federal or state rules, as the case may be. Our traditions, customs, rituals, and practices, and more, all make up our culture, the African culture. The book, The Life of Olaudah Ekwena, written by himself and published in the year 1789, at paragraph 2, page 5, he wrote, amongst others, and I quote, "We are almost a nation of dancers, musicians, and poets. We have many musical instruments, particularly drums of different kinds, a piece of music which resembles a guitar, and another much like a staccato." End of quote. As in ancient times, and as of today, drummers do not make new drums every time of day they have need to play. Drums sometimes last the lifetime of the drummer. We as Africans have an inherent integral maintenance culture. We mend our thatch roofs, we redo our mud walls. The website of architect Russell.com offers that a mud house with very minimum amount of concrete could last 1,000 years. Quora posits that before the Industrial Revolution, humans lived in huts worldwide. We weed our farms, we preserve our drums and our ogene. With the ogene, there is a myth you do not put them on bare floor to prevent a sting from the ants, which will rob them of their correct metallic sounds. Sometime in the past, I took interest in monitoring public buildings which are flying one faded and tattered national flag. I call on IPMC to knock on the doors of these offenders. Section 7 of the Flags and Coats of Arms Act, Cap 158/1990, provide as follows. Any person who flies or exhibits the national flag in a defaced or bad condition shall be guilty of an offense against this act. The penalty is 100 naira and 10 naira for continuing offense. Since year 2016, there have been efforts to amend the act to increase the penalty. The effort is ongoing in the current House of Representatives. On the contrary, the United States of America, from which the corpus of the amendments are borrowed, the desecration of their national flag is not a crime. Yet, their flag is revered. It becomes the ultimate honor to be associated with it physically, both for the living and the family of the dead. Their flag is respected and protected by the function of their patriotism, their singular love for their country, a country which in turn strives to assist them achieve their dreams, their life ambitions, in a setting presenting a level playing field and predetermined standards. That is what I refer to as social progress. Amongst others, and I quote, that the flag represents a living country and is itself considered a living thing. Therefore, the lapel pin, being a replica, should be worn on the left lapel near to the heart. End of quote. I posit that IPMC has the opportunity to unite us by bringing all of us to focus on our national flag. See The Art of War by Sun Tzu, edited by James Clavell at page 33. And with that, to foster patriotism and galvanize our efforts to do our best individually to uplift our country. On Friday, 7th of October 2016, I was guest lecturer at University of Nigeria, Nsukka. I delivered the 8th Dignity of Man lecture on Alumni Day during the Founders Day celebration of 2016. I was the chairman of the main event of the 56th Founders Day celebration, which took place on Thursday, the 6th of October 2016. Permit me to read out assets from my lecture which relate to preventive maintenance of painting of buildings. Quote, my mind is going to the houses, mainly residential of Dublin as business premises. Majority of those imposing buildings lining the streets of the southeast of Nigeria, for instance, still carry the paints on them when the houses were completed. Very many years later, their paints have flaked off. The brunt of weather of sun and rain have left molds of green and brown with lines of dripping water. The buildings at Onitsha are marvelous to behold, whether one is coming from Asaba, across the majestic River Niger, or descending from the army barracks. Every first-time visitor have had something to say about the city of our mid-rise buildings. It will be that my Lord the Chief Justice of Nigeria had nominated me to attend the Commonwealth Magistrates and Judges Association Conference 18th to 22nd of September 2016 held in Georgetown, Guyana. The Cooperative Republic of Guyana was the only British protectorate in South America. I vouch you here that as I was leaving the dainty houses in Georgia, from my hotel in Kingston, Georgetown, to Shady Jagan International Airport, all looked newly painted in outstanding colors of shades of green, bright green, olive green, mangrove green, orange, shades of blue, red, yellow, white, touches of black, pink, violet, burgundy, many more different colors. I'm yet to find out if this were a legislation that brought about such vivacity in a city. The environment is enlivened, and the people inhabiting them will be released, and in an atmosphere of respect for persons and respect for the laws, nations are bound to thrive. End of quote. This is a template for IPMC to pursue in urging our people to maintain their buildings by retaining them periodically. The IPMC should persuade majority of vehicle owners to buy into constant periodic servicing of their vehicles. The standard recommendation is to check your vehicle water and oil before you start the engine in the morning. How about the tire pressure? How about the odd sounds heard when the engine starts in the morning? A stitch in time saves 9. If you change your engine when it is due and clean your plugs when they sputter, your vehicle will not stall and stop you on the highway when you have an important engagement or when you have to discharge your passengers and seek to hand them over to another vehicle with the stress and physical abuse that come with it. On the road, both on the highways and in the townships, we encounter vehicles, cars, buses, but mostly trucks, which find it difficult to accelerate, emitting clouds of smoke. Some smoke are dense that traffic will build up as you could not see in order to overtake. Some daredevil drivers put their head, literally, and accidents occur. Once oil escapes, it can burn off as grey smoke from various hot points around the engine. See rack.co.uk, which further suggests that liquid can leak into your combustion chamber, leading to reduced fuel economy and eventually damage your catalytic converter. Quora, drive your life. Give 7 reasons there is smoke coming from your exhaust. All that is not for today. But let us accommodate this small quote. Quote, this is a problem because oil does not belong in the combustion chamber. It interferes with the process and corrodes spark plugs. Even worse, it reduces the amount of oil lubricating those moving parts. If the leak is fast enough, it goes on for a long time. Your car can run dangerously low on oil and cause the engine to seize up. End of quote. We also know the ubiquitous word manage in vehicular maintenance in Nigeria. We manage one brakes. We manage one tires. Even the woodwork of the 10-ton trucks are falling apart. We manage them for just this trip. So we fix them when we return. Many do not return. IPMC should invest a lot of time in this area. The well-being of our people is paramount. And some of your daunting work are not the ones which will be visible. But in the end, you will be etching your relevance in the minds of our people, where you will always be remembered. The perennial flow of vehicles on our highways into multiple potholes, cavities, depressions, gaps, dips, and craters is good reason to rejoice for the birthing of the Institute for Promotion of Maintenance Culture, IPMC in Nigeria. I humbly suggest that the prevention should be the focus of the IPMC. The RedStarMaterials.com suggests that the top 5 factors which contribute to pothole formation are wear and tear, extreme weather conditions, poor drainage, improper maintenance, and substandard materials. Let me further encourage the newest institute in town, the IPMC, by showing example where maintenance culture thrived. The article by Sue Wilkinson, published on the 5th of July 2019, at scarboroughnew.co.uk tell us that millions of drivers across Britain will regularly use roads that are thousands of years old, built by the Romans from AD 43 to 410. Well known for the high quality of their engineering and their sound approach to navigation, and were the first people to pave a practical network of highways across Britain, which provided the foundation for the current transport infrastructure. 10 Roman roads still in use in the United Kingdom are Fosway from A46 from London as far as Lifsa, and B445 across Warwickshire, the A429 through Gloucestershire to Stirlingshire, the A37 in Somerset to Chichester, the A35 near Axminster in Devon, along minor roads in Exeter. Watling Street followed a path of a trackway used by ancient Britons and was probably one of the first and most important roads to be built by the Romans in Britain, which estimates for a paved road dating to AD 47 or AD 48. It headed northwest out of the city of London towards northern Wales. Today, the same route is followed by the modern A5. The street also emanates southeastwards out of London to English Channel and Dover, the A2. Ackerman Street, connecting Watling Street and 4th Street across central Britannia, between modern St. Albans and Cotswold. Parts of A41 between modern St. Albans and Cotswold. Icknield, notably the A38 from Lichfield past Bottom upon Trent to Derby. Pye Road, in modern times, part of Pye Road's route is shared by the A140 through Norfolk and Suffolk, and A114 in northeastern London, then parts of Whitechapel Road towards the city. Derry Street, A1 in North Yorkshire and A64 in Northumberland. Emin Street, in form of A417, the A419 and B4000 along the M4 corridor. Emin Street with an E include most of A10 from London to Hertfordshire, A1198 from Royston to God Manchester in Huntingdonshire, and the largely Arrow Street A15 north of Lincoln. Stane Street south, linking London with Chichester, that is the Noviomagus Reginorum. Stane Street was one of the earliest major Roman roads in Britain, with construction completed during the mid-1st century. Much of Stane Street incorporated in the modern A29 in West Sussex and retains its ancient name. Number 10, Stane Street East, connected Emin Street in Hertfordshire to Colchester, Camulodunum in Essex. The A120 largely mirrors the route of the ancient road. This could not be possible without virile maintenance culture, plus the avenue and will to impose sanctions. Think of our kith and kin who cut across public highways as they desire, to lay pipes without authorization and without requisite remedial actions. I thank you all for listening. I wish you well.